friends, so you know what this is. This is some number of cup of coffee from my day, and it's very late at night, and I am in a particularly sassy mood. I just wanted to like chat for a bit because, I don't know, the last week or so I've had not like a block, not like a creative block, but most of the ideas that I've had have not been things where I could like just sit down in front of a camera and go. It was like things that I had to plan and things I had to research, and I was like, I don't want to do it. And so tonight I'm in a good mood because my stomach does not hurt, and I found this dope sweatshirt at TJ Maxx. So yeah. What's new with y'all? It's an overcaffeinated vlog. It's overcaffeinated. It's so caffeinated. So much coffee. The last 2 weeks. Okay, let's just like talk about the last 2 weeks. Not last weekend, the weekend before was the biggest snowstorm that Seattle has seen in almost 100 years. So that's great. It was awesome. My sister and I were like sequestered for 4 days. Could only walk to the corner store, and that's when we filmed the anti-haul. So we were fucking weird. That was quite an adventure of sorts. It was like the first weekend where my sister was like officially living with me, and we're like, oh, now we just can't leave. People give Seattle so much shit for like complaining about snow, but like living in the city, there are hills. Water surrounded by hills. That is what Seattle is. And the problem with Seattle in the snow is not Seattle drivers. It is just the city of Seattle and the infrastructure that was created. Just everybody's gonna die. Infrastructure was just not created for snow and ice. And we are notorious for black ice. It'll be like, it'll snow a ton and then it'll melt and then it'll refreeze over. And then it's just like a death wish if you get on the road. Like, it's terrible. And it was not a good time for a few days. Like, it was kind of scary. We're like, when are we gonna get to go to work? When are we gonna get to... When is it gonna stop? So Libby and I are going on a walkabout in the snow. Hey. We're vlogging.
Pretty soon we're gonna get out of the sunshiny area.
I know. Like, it hasn't snowed like this, like I said, in 100 years, but there's like no snow plows that go out into the city. It's like, there's a few that go out on main roads, but like side roads are still terrible. So people don't leave their homes and they just don't go to work. It was a weird few days, to say the least. Oh man, such snow! Ah! Thankfully, the snow melted and we were able to get out last weekend, and last weekend was such a good fucking time. Okay, I have talked to you guys about Bad Optics like a bajillion times at this point, right? Like, have you heard enough about Bad Optics? No? Okay. Their episode of Band in Seattle aired last weekend, and all the songs are on YouTube now, so you can listen to them. I shared one on my community tab. Please go check them out. I love them. They're amazing. I love them. I love them. And I'm just so proud of the episode because I got to do the interviews. I put in a bunch of B-roll footage, and it was just a good time. And then last weekend, my friend Christine made Valentines out of pictures of them, like with lyrics and stuff. They're really, really cute. And then she had a party.
Happy TV, Bad Optics. Happy TV to you.
1, 2, 3.
And then we had hot wings and we watched it, and I just got to like watch their reaction the whole time. Like, imagine making something about somebody that you like really admire, like a band that like they're your friends. Like, you make something of them and then you watch them watch themselves. It's never not weird, and it's always funny. And this is actually the 4th time I've done this. I've watched episodes with bands before, but this was probably the most fun that we've had because it was just like people were like cheering during the commercials, and it was just so adorable and hilarious, and like I was just like grinning from ear to ear for like a half an hour. It was a great time. And that night, actually, I got to try the Hot Ones hot sauce. Let me get some more coffee here. Hot Ones. Does anyone else watch Hot Ones? Of course you do. I got to try the Last Dab XXL, the Last Dab Redux, and it's fucking hot, yo. Like, it's real hot. And I can say that lemon and lime juice do help. If you've seen the Gordon Ramsay episode of Hot Ones, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Like, it was surprisingly tasty for being like 2 million Scovilles. Like,
that's a lot. That's a spicy wing.
That's a lot of Scovilles. It was hot. And then, oh, like, I should have gotten video of the show, but the day after, the Saturday, my friend Matthew, my dear friend Matthew, got to play their first show as their band, Bad Honey, and I will link to things below, and you can go listen to it, and I took all the pictures for their band page. Like, literally every photo is just like, I did that, I did that, I did that. That was me. I was there when they were recording. We got to play their first show, and it was a really busy crowd, and everybody was out because everybody was like sequestered the weekend before, and they were like, freedom, and we got to go out and like see a show at a bar, and it was so fun. I was really proud and really excited to get to see them play, but also one of the other bands that was playing has a couple of friends of mine in it, but I've never actually seen them play and never photographed them, and they were so excited to see me. They're like, we get the Abby Williamson treatment, and they were like so excited that like I was gonna take photos of them, and I was like, yes guys, you flatter me, what the fuck. So that night was just like full of love and wonderful things. It was another good night. Last weekend was just really great, which is why I didn't film last weekend, because I was just like busy living life and like being around people that I love. So that was a good time. That was a good time. Links to music will be in the description. I did want to show you, people have been wondering about my plant babies. This guy I rescued from work, and it was in this tiny little, like, it was literally in a fucking Solo cup. This dude was not thriving, and now he's having such a good time. Like, literally, I don't think there were 3 stalks before. Like, in the last few weeks since Libby and I put it in this pot, it's fucking huge. And we've been putting our eggshells in as like fertilizer and stuff, which has been really nice. This guy's been real happy. But the one that I'm most excited about, and the one that I love the most, am I moist enough? Yeah, he's doing okay. I don't know the names to any of these, just so you know. My friend Carissa is a horticulturist, actually for a quite large company in the city, and she actually gave me this plant in exchange for me taking headshots for her. She was like, do you want cash or plants? And I was like, I'll take plants.
Hell yeah.
But she actually potted this, and it's got like different levels of the rocks, so it shows how much water you need, and it's really, really easy to keep healthy, and she's actually been thriving quite well. It used to be just down to like here when I got him, and now we've got these extra guys, and this guy's all nice and long and healthy and happy. I like this plant a lot. Those are some of my plants. I figured I could like talk about them. There was no way I was gonna make an entire video about like my plants, but I figured I could just like slap them into an overcaffeinated, you know? Sometimes when like you have a bunch of things you want to talk about, but like don't warrant an entire video. That's what this is. That's what these are. I used to do these all the time. I'm gonna start doing them more because why the fuck not? I want to show you guys some of my crystals because I started buying crystals because I'm that bitch. I'll just show you some of them. I went to this maker's market last month, I believe. This really lovely woman, I will leave her Instagram actually in the description below. She was selling crystals, and it was like the very last booth before you left. And I just kind of like stopped and looked, and I was like, do I even want to like open up this can of worms? Yes, I do apparently. And so from her, I actually got this really, really nice little tiger's eye palm stone, which is a nice flat little palm stone guy I can fit in my pocket. It's just really nice to kind of just rub as like almost a worry stone. And I've been keeping this on me almost every single day. And it's really, really pretty too. It's so pretty. That I got from her. And then I also got this, I believe it's a smoky quartz, but I'm learning the names. I'm learning things, okay? I'm learning. I'm in the early stages, but I have a nice little collection of things. I like what I have so far. And then from her, I also bought this really lovely amethyst point, which is also one I've been keeping with me most days. I'm putting it in my purse, kind of keeping it on me. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. And then since then, I've acquired acquired more. At Ballyhoo, actually, when I went a couple of weeks ago and found my lovely little bat skeleton, I also bought a selenite wand sorts. Is that what they call these? I want to get like one of the selenite like slabs that I can just like put other crystals and stones on top of. I've actually like stumbled upon like several crystal related ASMR videos lately, and I'm just like, okay, universe, here you go. And then also, what else did I buy at Ballyhoo? A little green calcite. It's a nice little glossy guy. A little raw citrine up in here. Little guy. And then a little lapis lazuli. And then I also got a rose quartz crystal ball, because why not? And then 2 more of the things that I've acquired. I have this really lovely raw indigo in kyanite, which I have read is a good one to have. Both of these, the indigo and kyanite and then the rainbow moonstone, have been really good like stones for Geminis. I don't know the like science behind all of these quite yet, but I like having them as a collection. They're pretty. They are nice to kind of have with me, you know? This one's especially cool. It has all these like really different like color ridges. This is my little crystal collection that I have so far. I have a few like little guys too. Like I have a plain old quartz, because every basic bitch needs a fucking piece of quartz, you know? And then I have a couple of, I believe these are citrine, little baby obelisks, and then a little more lapis lazuli little guys. So yeah, I have crystals now. Who knew that I would be that bitch? I could show you the shoes I got from TJ Maxx. I did get this sweatshirt from TJ Maxx. I was very excited about it. I will show you the shoes I got from TJ Maxx. Just hold on a sec. So I've had a pair of boots that I got from the Goodwill probably 2 years ago. They were nice boots. They were wonderful boots. They went through so much for me, and they finally died recently. One of them, there's a hole in the bottom, and one, the sole is just flapping off. And I was like, do I even want to try and salvage these? Do I go find? So I've been to Value Village. My sister and I have gone to Value Village and Goodwill a handful of times the last few weeks, and I didn't find any that truly filled that space in like my shoe sphere, I guess, my shoe collection. And I've been wearing this pair that I got from like fucking H&M several years ago that have been fine. But I went to TJ Maxx last night because I wanted to see, I needed hair conditioner and I wanted to see what kind of stuff they had there for like cheap. I ended up getting more things than I probably needed to, but some of these were things that I actually did. Some of these were actually things that I were looking for a while. I got a pair of running shoes because the only pair of tennis shoes, or even remotely anything close to tennis shoes, I've been wearing when I go, like, actually go do my, like, little joggy jogs, have been my hiking boots, which are not the most comfortable when it's hot out. And now that it's getting nicer outside, hopefully, or at least lighter later, I can, like, go do things after work outside. So I found a pair of Adidas. And I think, are these like Cloud Foam Adidas Ortholite. They're very light and breathable. That's what I needed. I needed breathable shoes for when I want to work out, because I don't really have good shoes for working out. But while I was looking for those, I found one of the most perfect pair of boots I have seen in a long time. I just realized how dusty my room is. I'm just seeing so much dust fly in front of the camera. These are a thing of beauty, and I am so happy that I own them now. Holy shit. Like, what is even the brand? Like, I don't even know. Indigo RD. I don't know. They got kind of like cowboy motifs. It's hard to see because they're like kind of not shiny. They're matte. And then these like really sleek and sexy buckles, and they're so comfortable. And I'm just so happy that I found them because they can replace the boots that died. Stoked for these guys. I'm gonna start maybe trying to do like outfit videos. Who knows? Like outfit of the day videos are really awkward to film. I used to do it myself, and then like I had my friend Laurel help me once, which was fine. Being cute on camera is kind of weird when the person holding the camera is not your significant other. You know what I mean? So who knows? Maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah. What else is on the radar? What else is new? What else is happening? Let's talk about music for a hot second, because I've been listening to all kinds of music lately. And I started compiling a list of like bands you need to listen to because they're amazing, that I would come back and do some more of those videos. I don't know how I feel about doing them quite yet, just because I don't know what kind of response I might get. I might do it like in the context of like a get ready with me or something. Let me know if you want me to bring those videos back. Like if there's a resounding number of people that want it back, let me know. But in the process of me kind of coming up with that, I was listening to a lot of Phoebe Bridgers, and I guess I was listening to Phoebe for a multitude of reasons. That was one of them. The other one was after the revelations, the not so surprising revelations about Ryan Adams came out this week, which was fucked. If you hadn't heard, Ryan Adams was outed for being a total fucking creep. He basically like destroyed his ex-wife's music career, tried to destroy Phoebe's when she didn't want to reciprocate his like sexual manipulation, and also engaged in like inappropriate sexual communication with a 14-year-old. It really sucked. I read it and I was like, I'm not surprised, but I'm disappointed. That's always kind of the weirdest, like, convoluted emotion, when you're like, half of me was expecting this, but the other half of me was hoping that it would never be true. I was never like the biggest fan of Ryan Adams, but I listened to him when I was younger. He was on a bunch of soundtracks that I liked, and it was that whole kind of singer-songwriter thing that I was into more in my earlier years, not as much now. It's still something that like really hits close to home, because Brand New was really the other artist, the other band, the other like musical thing that I listened to that kind of got ruined for me because of a creep's actions, because of Jesse Lacey. But none of the other bands or artists or singers who have been outed as being creeps were people that I listened to, and it was like in a genre that I wasn't really into. Like I haven't really been into like more of the hardcore like emo stuff in the last several years. All of those revelations didn't hit me quite as much, and I have a lot of friends who are singer-songwriters and a lot of friends who looked up to Ryan Adams, and I saw a lot of people posting on Facebook that it fucking just was like a stab in the back, but like one that was half expected because of just sometimes the nature of powerful men who have an ego. It was really, really weird, just like thinking about it. And like BuzzFeed actually published this great article. Like I usually never like BuzzFeed's articles, like long form article things, and usually I just like write them off, but this one was actually really, really well written, and I will leave a link to it in the description because it kind of hit a lot of the points that I've kind of been feeling. Is every musician that I've ever loved a fucking creep? It kind of mirrors the feeling that I had several years ago about like the YouTube community, when like Alex Day and Mike Lombardo and all these other fucking assholes were outed as being like either pedophiles or just generally manipulative, abusive partners. When all that happened, I kind of didn't want to trust any man in the YouTube community. Like I was like, oh, is apparently every creator I watch, apparently every dude I watch on YouTube is a fucking asshole. It took a while for me to like not think that. And so now I'm kind of on the verge of like just being worried about things and just like being uneasy. Because of that, I have been seeking out more female musicians over the last week or so and listening to them a lot more and feeling the girl power, and Phoebe Bridgers has been a big part of that. Phoebe Bridgers, Meg Myers, Boy Genius, which is Phoebe and co. Aurora was another one I was listening to a bunch. It's been that and then just like my friends' bands, but it's been a weird week in the music community. Shit sucks. This is far more common in the music industry than we like to admit, but here we go again. And it made me respect Phoebe so much more than I already did, and I already really respect her as an artist and really love her music. And I heard about her because of Noah Gunderson, and I saw her play at Sasquatch last year, and she's amazing. I love her aesthetic. I'm like, oh my god, all black. Hell yeah. Which brings me to my song of the day, which is Motion Sickness by Phoebe Bridgers. And I have been belting out that song so much this week in my car. I had heard it before this week. Like I heard the song for sure, but I never really listened to the lyrics so closely. And I was like, oh shit, girl, you just like fuck it. Like, is clearly about Ryan Adams, obviously. And just like all of the little things where it's like, why do you sing in an English accent? And like, you gave me $1,500 to go see your psychotherapist. And also like, you're really old. The line where it was like, when you met me, you were bored. When you met me, you were bored. And you were in a band when I was born. I was like, oh. That line really, really got me. Just the idea of emotional motion sickness was such a clever lyric, like just a clever way of framing it. And listening to it brought me back to like another period in my life where like I was not going through something like that, obviously nothing like that, but going through my own form of like emotional motion sickness, which was a few years ago, almost exactly to the day. Yeah, I didn't mean to get like dark at the end, I guess. Only so dark I can get wearing this fucking polarized sweatshirt. Sorry, I keep shouting this out. I just really love it. Like, I love it that much. But I just finished my coffee and it's 1 in the morning. What am I doing? I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Music, crystals, plants. One other thing that happened in the last week or so that makes me so happy. Grace Helbig and Elliot Morgan are dating and I'm so happy for them. I've been a fan of Grace Helbig since she was still part of Daily Grace. Like Daily Grace, like My Damn Channel was her thing. Relationships. Her right now in the last couple of months, which I also see like why she's also been extra happy too. Her like, I don't give a fuck what people think, I'm gonna make the shit I want to make, has kind of been my catalyst for like just making shit that I want to make. And I've really been enjoying Grace's stuff lately, and she just seems so much happier. I love her. I love Grace. Like, I've been watching Elliot since he wasn't a host on SourceFed, but he still had his like extra show as part of the SourceFed channel, and seeing that happen, I'm just like, oh my god, it's the ship I never knew I wanted to sail, but apparently it's sailing wonderfully, and like seeing their posts on social media makes me so fucking happy. So yeah. I should stop recording because my camera keeps stopping recording. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't already, please subscribe. You already have your song of the day, a random tangent at the end about Grace and Elliot. I'm just really happy for them. Links to so many things will be in the description below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! That was so long.